Hello, you guys, and thank you all for tuning in to Chris Codes. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button because you know you want to, and it's free. Notification bells to be notified whenever I drop new content. Comment, subscribe, and yeah, let's get right into the video. All right, so it's time for Foolishness Friday. I know I missed last week, but I told you all it was my birthday week, and I was out with my best friend in Paris. We enjoyed it. It was great. I might insert like some clips and pictures in this Foolishness Friday if it's not too long. If it's too long, oh well. Or follow me on my Instagram. Yeah, so I want to go ahead and get into the video because I don't want this to be too long because today is Thursday and I have to upload this tomorrow. So this Foolishness Friday is going to be about this clip I saw with this judge, and he's basically sentencing this black man, and I don't want to say too much about it. I want you all to watch the clip, and then I'm going to give my comments like normal. So let's go ahead and get right into it.
Prior assault of a family member that's been dismissed. You pled to a deferred adjudication. You're now on probation for a deferred on a violation of a protective order. Since then, you picked up an assault of a pregnant person, and now you pick up another violation of a protective order. And I got to tell you, I'm in shock that they haven't filed another third-degree felony because they could. Because when you pick up successive VPOs within like a year, they make it a third-degree felony. Anyways, please.
The complainant and defendant are married. On August 28, 2024, officers responded to a call at 715 Clay Road to meet a citizen call. The complainant stated the defendant had been sending her text messages from his personal phone. The complainant showed messages of the suspect sending her a link on how to write an affidavit. The complainant stated the defendant was trying to get her to change her statement on the affidavit and to have her drop the charges against him. The complainant stated the defendant never said anything threatening to her, but the defendant has a no contact order against him.
I'm assuming the assault of a pregnant person is the same one in this, right? Okay. Mr. Craig, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. You're right now being held at no bond, and I don't know what to put your bond at. I don't. Your bond with me on the probation case is $10,000. Your assault's at $40,000. I don't know what to do on our case.
So without going into the evidence of what's actually going on, we'd ask for a PR bond, just simply. It's not bad. He's already posted 2 bonds. And again, we don't know the facts, but I will allude to the fact that it's a game that's being played, and
I got to tell you, I'm surprised that they even didn't file obstruction charges on you because, you know, what they're alleging is potential obstruction of justice charges again, also. Is DVD on this case?
Yes, Judge, this is a DVD case. I'm planning to email Ryan to talk to him and Mary today about possible charges.
Are they in trial now? Are they busy? What are they?
I think Ryan is in ERD all this week, Judge.
Oh, okay. We need to set a bond in this case. I don't know what to.
And Judge, I was waiting for you to give us an opportunity to speak on the bond. I mean, he's already got, to be clear, and you know already, this is all the same complaint. Every case that he's got, every dismissed case that he has in this county is the same exact complaint as calling with his wife. Looks like he's got a bond in felony court right now for assaulting her while pregnant at $40,000 that's currently pending. On our case, he got a $10,001 bond. And we were going to request $50,000, Judge, just for the safety of the complainant, the sheer amount of cases.
And just had to remind this court that the wife had a case against him. Again, it's a kind of a back and forth between the two. I understand though that the problem is my client shouldn't have called her SAR, whatever, just because she called him. Because,
Do they have children together?
yes,
How old's the child?
she's 1, 2,
Just turned one.
just turned one.
On 30th of June.
And it's a different thing, Judge, to me. If the contact is, oh, he's got a no contact order, but he's talking about the kids or something to that effect. This is the worst kind of contact. He's telling her, you need to lie to the state of Texas, submit an affidavit of non-prosecution. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's one of the most heinous things you can do besides being directly violent to somebody.
Except
And
for
that's why I'm asking for the amount that I'm asking for, Judge.
except for
At times, people who are a true cancer to each other, you guys are just,
toxic.
it's a toxic relationship. Why can't you move on? Why so much anger? You know, there's how many women in this world? 4 quadrillion, 10 billion? How on earth can you allegedly let someone get under your skin so much that you're willing to risk a decade of your life over and over when all you got to do is literally get up, walk out the door, and move on to the next one? Life is so short to just sit in a box all day. You can't play Xbox. I'm gonna leave here in about 15 minutes. I'm gonna go play Fortnite because they just did a new update. And I'm like chomping at the bit, struggling just to finish work here so I can go play Fortnite. I mean, why so much anger, Mr. Craig? Why are you so angry? Was someone angry to you growing up?
I haven't been able to practice the emotional control methods, but I'm working on that, sir.
How?
By identifying what my triggers are and
What have you done?
just meditated, prayed. I took in counseling. I started a session, had couple sessions.
It's not working. You need to find something new. And the first thing you need to do is you need to distance yourself from this person. It's evident that you two guys are polar and complete opposites and have no business being with each other. Even if you have a child, you have no business being with this person because all this person does is kill you. She's a cancer to your life. And if you can't see it now, after a 4th case, I don't know what it's going to take to get through to you. Perhaps putting you in prison for 7 years is what it's going to take to get through to you. That she's a cancer to you. And you are a cancer to her. You know, you have assault, allegedly assault after alleged assault. She has a car running over. I mean, really, what else is it going to take? Stop. All I know is that you have repeatedly shown me that you refuse to abide by our conditions of the court. What am I to do? I don't know. I'm at a loss as to what to do because whatever I do, I know he's just going to do the opposite. Look, what you tell me goes in one ear, goes out the other ear. Who you are is by what is shown on paper, because that's who you are. You say no, but here we are, another VPO. I agree with you in the respect it's not the most egregious where he didn't bodily harm her. But I also agree with you. It's one of the it's bad because you're trying to subvert justice. It's not good. So I really can't give him a PR bond. I mean, you understand that. I mean, that like, if I were to give him a PR bond, it would be just telling you that your behavior is okay when it's not okay. I'm gonna set your bond at 20,000 for now.
Okay, so you all saw the clip, and this is different. Like, I wouldn't necessarily, it is foolishness, don't get me wrong, it's foolishness, but to me this happens so much in the age of like politics, like, because we're all kind of up in arms about the election and all that jazz. I thought this would be a good Foolishness Friday for this week, and I say that because a lot of people are kind of swayed, and I do keep in mind, I do not talk about politics. I don't talk about politics while I'm working either job. People that I don't really know that well, I just don't talk about it because it's a very touchy subject, and you really see people's true colors when you like talk to them about it. But the way I see it in the Black community, a lot of Black people are voting Trump. Like some are voting Trump, and I listen to their viewpoints, and you know, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like some stuff, like I hear you, but I don't get it. I don't see how you can be so swayed by him with like the comments about Black people and how he views us in general. It's kind of astounding to me.
Why are African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
And so are white people. So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. More white people, by the way. More white people.
Even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable.
But I brought that up to say when a lot of Black men say that Kamala put a lot of Black males in jail and so on and so forth. And this is my thing, and this is my take on that. I feel like it's one thing to blame her for locking up a lot of Black males, but it's another thing when we don't blame them. I know that a lot of Black males are arrested wrongfully. Trump condoned one of those wrongful convictions, might I add.
You better believe that I hate the people that took this girl and raped her brutally. You better believe it. And it's more than anger, it's hatred. And I want society to hate them.
In New York City in the late 80s and early 90s, the case of the Central Park jogger was notorious. In April of 1989, a white woman who had been jogging was found brutally raped and beaten nearly to death in Central Park. Not long after the woman was discovered, 4 Black teenagers, 1 Latino teenager were charged and jailed for the crime. The gruesome case whipped up an unbelievable hysteria throughout the city, the media ginning up fears with headlines about wolf packs and roving gangs and wilding. But the 5 boys, ages 14 to 16, had falsely confessed to the crime after hours of police interrogations. They were later tried, convicted, and sentenced to prison. But vindication for the group, known as the Central Park 5, came in 2002, when a convicted murderer and rapist confessed to the crime. And that confession was then corroborated by DNA. The prison sentences of the Central Park 5 were overturned, but by that time they had already served between 5 and 13 years. In 2014, the men were awarded a $40 million settlement from New York City. The story that had gripped the city for years came to a close, and yet one Manhattan resident's obsession with the case continues to this day. Just weeks after the crime was committed in 1989, Donald Trump took out a full-page ad in 4 New York newspapers advocating the return of the death penalty. And when the city awarded the men a settlement in 2014, Trump wrote an editorial in the Daily News calling the settlement a disgrace. And now, even now, as the presidential nominee for the Republican Party, Trump hasn't allowed science or evidence to change his initial reaction to the case. Just this week, Trump said he still considers the men, again, exonerated by the criminal justice system and by DNA scientific evidence, guilty issuing a statement saying, quote, they admitted they were guilty. The police doing the original investigation say they were guilty. The fact that case was settled with so much evidence against them is outrageous. The woman so badly injured will never be the same.
But to like crucify her for that, you know, it's crazy to me. And in this video, you see this judge, white man, by the way, you see this judge trying to speak to him as if like he's a human, not just some other person, you know, not just, you know, somebody that's not important. He's trying to tell him like, you're throwing your life away. And I see time and time again, people go through the same things over and over and over again. My grandma would tell me, she's like, people stuck in their twos. When she says that, you stuck in your 20s. You do the same things that you did in your 20s, that you do in your 40s, that you do in your 50s, that you do in your 60s. You never learn. You never learn. And the judge is speaking on that like, you come in here time and time again doing the same stuff, but you expect a different result. Why is that? Why is that? And then you want people to have sympathy for you. You want people to like, you want people to be understanding and let you off the hook, but you continue to do the same things. So why should we expect any better from you? Not even just black males, men in general are coddled, you know? I'm not saying all parents do that, and I'm not just pointing directly at the black community, even though this video is like the judge is speaking to a black male, but a lot of men are coddled at this point, not only by their mothers, but by us women, you know? Like, it used to be, oh, being a provider and so on and so forth. And I get that society has changed. I get that now, back then, women really couldn't work. They didn't have those opportunities that we now have. And I understand that. I do. But why, you know, what changed? That's what I don't get. It's like, what's changed? Some women out there are entitled and all that, and they want, you know, they constantly have their hand out when they can go and get it themselves. But what changed that men feel like they don't have to pull themselves up by their bootstraps? Like they don't, you know, have to get out there and find purpose and work hard. And to me, y'all, I know I go off on a rant, but I'm going somewhere with this, you all. You know, I feel like that is a way to stay out of trouble. He at home, he's fussing, fighting, and carrying on with his significant other. And I don't know this woman from a can of paint. I don't know what they go through behind closed doors. I don't condone him beating on her, especially not pregnant. But don't you think if he was out there working hard, you know what I mean, trying to provide for her and that kid, then maybe he wouldn't have so much time on his hands to be beating on her, to be sitting up there in front of that judge while he wants to play Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny, but it's not. It's just like, what changed? Like, Foolishness Friday is more so for us to start up a conversation, you know, for it to be thought-provoking. Nowadays, it's like, what can you do for me? What can I do for you? So on and so forth. But it's just like, what can you do for yourself? What can you do for yourself? And then you pick somebody that fits. He got too much time on his hands. And nowadays, a lot of men got entirely too much time on their hands. That's just what it boils down to. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. You have too much time to be sitting around making the same mistakes when you could be spending that time finding your purpose, finding God, and allowing him to lead you, guide you. You know, and he's right. It is a toxic situation. And some people are just not meant to be together. Some people are just not meant to be together. But when it comes to incarceration and a lot of people in jail and all that type of stuff, it does go back to, you know, them attacking the black race and black males and all that. But sometimes you gotta dig deeper. That does happen. We've seen it happen time and time again for centuries. You know, like, I don't know what it is about black people, but you know, they want us incarcerated. That's true. But in a lot of these instances, sometimes it's like we can't be to blame. We can't be to blame. And you constantly make these same mistakes over and over again. You got to ask yourself, why do I keep allowing myself to be put in this situation? Why do I keep doing the same things, expecting things to get better, and they're not? We got to do better. We got to do better. Just letting life pass you by. Like, I like when the judge was talking about it, like, it's just so much to life. It's so much to do, so much to accomplish. Like, it's always something to do. You need to live by that motto. It's always something to do. And for you to throw it all away because you have anger issues, or you're with someone that constantly triggers you. He said he's praying, he's doing meditation, and the judge, like, clearly it's not working, so clearly you got to find something else to do. But who knows if that's even true, you know, that he's doing those things. But it's just like, I speak about accountability all the time, but it's just like, come on now, y'all gotta wait. We gotta wake up. We gotta wake up and take responsibility for ourselves. Like, what is life with no purpose? What is life when you're just letting it pass you by? Ask yourself, why are you here? Why are you here? Ask yourself, what have you accomplished? If it was your last day today, what are people going to say about you? And is anything that anybody has to say good? Did you benefit the world in any way? We got to ask ourselves these questions. We got to ask ourselves these questions. Because if you don't have an answer to any of them, or if the answer that you have, you wouldn't be proud to tell someone, then maybe you need to look back on your life and figure out what mistakes you made or what you constantly see happening, and see what you can do or what you can fix to start anew. Be born again. You know what I mean? That's what they say. It's like you be born again. God doesn't use people. He doesn't use the best of the best. You know, he uses the people that you least expect. He uses the people that no one would think twice of. You can be used. Humble yourself. Humble yourself. Stop thinking people owe you something. Stop thinking that, you know, you can live life and do whatever the heck you want to do and there's no consequences for your actions. Because there is. Your time will come. Your day will come. So you can keep pouring out all this negativity. You can keep pouring out all this mess in the world and think you're going to keep skating by, but it all comes crashing down at some point. And everybody has their time. Everybody has their time. Everybody has their day when it comes crashing down. And then when it does, you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision what you're going to do next. Are you going to continue to do the same thing and get the same result? Or are you going to step up, stand out, and change your ways? It's all up to you. So what you gonna do? All right, you guys, I thank you all for watching. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button because you know you want to. and it's free. Notification bell so you're notified whenever I drop new content. Comment, subscribe, and yeah, see y'all for the next video. Bye.